All right, Module 7. You've been waiting for it all class, and it's here. So this is your project. Make sure that you use the project template. It is linked in the guidelines and rubric for the Module 7 project assignment. Use the template. It will help you stay organized. It will help you make sure that you don't leave anything out. So it's really there to be helpful, and it is helpful. Also, go through the guidelines and rubric. Pay attention to what to submit. It walks you through exactly, just line by line, what's needed for a successful project submission. So, also this week, you're learning about cultural and social diversity and its impacts on historical interpretation. And then you're also, of course, with the project, analyzing sources with a historical perspective. Always with the study of history, we fall into what they call presentism. And it's this way with everything. Think of your friends. If they do something and you think, oh my gosh, that's so stupid. Or if you do something and your friends think, oh my gosh, that's so stupid. We make decisions with the information we have. And that's it. I mean, that's how we make decisions. It's very hard for us to think of how would so-and-so prefer I make this decision. That's not how we make decisions. We make decisions with the information we have and the impact it's going to have on us. Sometimes when we are studying history, we look at it from today. Cell phones in our hands, all these different technologies and things we have that did not exist all that long ago. In the 90s, especially like the early 90s, I mean, I drove all over I didn't have a cell phone. My parents could not call and check on me to see how I was doing. No, either you arrived when you were supposed to or you didn't. And then, you had to go look for somebody or find a phone or whatever. So it was a completely different time. And that's pretty recent history. Many of you are looking back even more than that. So, for example, the war on drugs, there was not near the push for treatment then that I hope there is now. And also we've learned a lot about incarceration since then. It maybe instead of just throwing everyone in jail, maybe they need treatment. So things have changed substantially. And as many of you have pointed out, the disabilities legislation, that's from 1990. That's pretty recent. But even then, so many things have changed since then. Education, labor, all these things. Well, think of it. About 100 years ago, children, did not have to be in school. My grandfather was forced to leave school after 8th grade. He had an 8th grade education because in his dad's and his dad's family's opinion, it was time for him to go to work. And his mother, she never forgave that, ever. She wanted him to have an education. But it was the norm. That's what kids were doing. So many things have changed. Can you imagine only having an 8th grade education today and that being the norm? So things change. So when we study history, we have to do what is almost impossible. We have to try to understand the time in which we are studying. Same with women's rights. I mean, women couldn't even have their own bank accounts until just recently, really recent decades. So many things have changed. So just bear that in mind with your project. Try to step into that time period for a minute and not fall into presentism. Okay, reach out with questions and have a great week.